Previously on Danganronpa.
I still can't get over this. This is only me halfway through the fucking game.
And now, the thrilling conclusion to the trial.
Hina. The footprints. They're mine. Hina? If you're all gonna find out anyway, I'd rather you hear it straight from me, you know?
Then, Ogre's killer was...
Yep. I did it. I killed Sakura. Just as I suspected.
Goddamn.
The footprints were made by a pair of sneakers. There was no mistaking it. And the only people here who wear sneakers are... Sneakers, huh? The only people wearing sneakers here are... Makoto and Hina. Me and Hina are the only ones. Oh, so Bakula, that explains why you... These footprints must be... Makoto, are they yours? No. Okay, let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size for myself. If the footprints didn't belong to Makoto, that left only one other possibility.
Just Hina.
Plus, Hina's been acting strange ever since the trial began. You were in an awful rush to get to the vote, weren't you? The whole time you've been focused on pinning the crime on someone else, haven't you?
Huh, I even pointed that out that she was just throwing out random blame. I can't believe it.
What about it can't you believe?
Well, it's just the two of them were so close.
That's exactly why it turned out this way. Because they were so close, Sakura didn't think twice about it when Hina handed her the concoction. Hina used that trust to kill her. She deceived the victim and she tried to deceive all of us. I have to say, Hina, coming from you, this was a particularly nasty little scheme.
Hina, is it true? Did you really kill Sakura? And if you did, why? Why would you do that?
I found her, there in the rec room. She was hurt. She asked me to bring her that protein drink. But when I went to get the powder from the chem lab, it just occurred to me all of a sudden. Now is my chance to kill her. That's what you thought, right? That's when you switched out the protein powder, and that's when you gave her the poisoned mixture. And then she downed it all at once. And then... Hold it. I'm not convinced. You're not about to claim she wouldn't kill a close friend, are you? You still don't get it, do you? The game we're playing here isn't so kind.
Is Hina trying to get us all killed?
Has she reached, what was it, despair? Has she reached that point in despair that she literally wants everybody dead?
And so that's why she's pinning the blame on herself.
Honeyed words like friendship don't matter here. What matters is outwitting the opponent, defeating them. Not a person alive would sacrifice themselves for another. In the end, we're all in it for ourselves. Just like how this girl sacrificed Sakura to save herself. You say that, but I'm still not convinced. How many times do you plan to repeat yourself? Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying it because of some misguided sentimentalism. But there's still one unsolved mystery, and I'm not convinced.
Are you talking about the locked room problem?
Hina, if you really are the killer, explain it. How did you create that locked room? Well... that doesn't matter. Just because I'm guilty, that means I have to tell you everything? No, it doesn't. But the fact that you won't tell us concerns me. Surely you're not... Do you honestly think Hina didn't actually kill her? And if I do? Impossible! She switched out the mixtures. She's the culprit. There's no way you can doubt this.
Are you sure about that? Even ignoring the fact that I don't want to believe it, it just doesn't fit.
What doesn't fit?
I mean, why would someone leave such a clear clue like a footprint? It's too obvious. Too easy.
He's right. It makes you look like you wanted people to suspect you. That was... I was just nervous, so I didn't notice I left a footprint.
You didn't notice?
Yeah, that's just how it was. What can I do? Listen, Hina, could you go into a bit more detail? Tell us more about when you switched the poison and the protein. How come? That doesn't matter.
Hina, please. I'd like to know too.
Fine. Waste your time if you like. It's clear that Hina is the culprit. There's nobody else to suspect. Nobody else could have possibly done it. Go ahead, Hina. Start from the moment you arrived at the chem lab. Well, right away I went to Section C and got the poison. And is that when you spilled the powder in front of that part of the shelf? Yeah, when I opened the bottle, I dropped it like an idiot. I see. Okay then, go on. So then, I moved to Section A and got the protein powder, and that's where I switched them. Once I was done with that, I took the protein can that had the poison in it and left the room. But I accidentally put the bottle filled with the protein powder back on the wrong shelf. And because of that, everything I did got found out, and that's it.
That story you've just told. First you went to Section C to get the poison, then moved to Section A to get the protein, right? Meaning you went from Section C to Section A. Do I have that correct?
Yeah.
But if that's true, the footprints don't add up. Isn't that a little strange? Can you repeat that series of events one more time?
What's wrong with you, Big Mac? You're being awfully pushy.
It's the same no matter how many times you hear it. How long until you're satisfied? How long? Until we figure it out. Until I uncover the full truth of this case. Funny thing is, I'm surprised nobody's actually actively tried to kill him, considering he's the one that's solving all these riddles. Just personally, if I was in that situation, he would be the one I would go for.
First I went to Section C. That's when I grabbed the poison.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground in front of the shelf.
Yeah, when I grabbed the bottle I dropped it.
The footprints don't add up, so... Okay, and then... that one. No, wrong button! It's back to front. Triangle is like the activate button instead of X, so it's putting me all wrong. You said you went to get the poison from Section C, and that's where you spilled the powder, right?
Yeah, what about it?
And after that, you said you moved from Section C to Section A to get the protein. But the footprints left at the scene were not moving from Section C to Section A. That contradicts what you just said.
What?
Then maybe she moved in some weird direction on purpose to disguise her movements. No, that can't be it. Remember what Hina just said?
I was just nervous, so I didn't notice I'd left a footprint.
What the... Hina, what's the meaning of this?
Well...
You lied to us, plain and simple. If you look at the footprints, your movements in the chem lab are obvious. The powder has already been spilled when you came in, and you went straight to Section A. So you never went to Section C. Whatever you did there, it only involved Section A.
Well, you see...
What the hell? What's going on here?
The footprints aren't the only problem with our account.
What?
Before I explain that part, I'd like to submit some new evidence.
New evidence? Impossible, there can't be.
Are you sure? After all, you're the one that gave it to me.
I did?
It was hidden inside that bottle of poison you gave me. I'm amazed you of all people would miss such a vital clue. A truly grave oversight.
That's right, you fucking stick two fingers at him. Just say it already. What is it you think you found?
I found this.
Huh? A piece of glass?
It had sunk to the bottom of the bottle, and the hidden clue was exposed thanks to you ingesting the powder. I couldn't have solved the mystery without you, so thank you for that.
But what is it?
Oh, you still don't realize? Well then, Makoto, why don't you explain it?
Me? Huh? Me? Fine. If you really do know, explain the meaning of the shard of glass.
The shard of light blue glass that Kyoko found in the bottle of poison. I think I remember now. I broke something the same shade of blue.
The window! So was the window already broken? It's part of the window from the rec room door, right?
The window?
The window we broke to get in was a light blue, just like that, so I think that must be it.
You're right, it must be. Of course, that leads to another question. How did a shard of glass from the window get inside this bottle of poison?
What's so strange about that?
What's strange is, according to what Hina told us, where was it the bottle of poison should have been when I broke the rec room window? According to what Hina told us, it should have been on the shelf. The bottle of poison was left on the shelf in the chem lab. That's what you said, right, Hina? And yet, somehow, a piece of glass from the rec room window made its way into that bottle. That everything Hina told us was a lie? In reality, that bottle of poison most definitely found its way to the rec room. It was there at least until the window got broken. In other words, when the locked room was unlocked. There's no other way to explain the presence of that glass in the bottle.
And then, once the room was opened, the bottle somehow got moved back to the shelf in the chem lab. Meanwhile, the protein can we found at the crime scene was planted there. That had to be after the locked room was open. In other words, after Sakura died.
Wait, hold on. You're moving too fast. I'll grant you the bottle of poison may well have been in the rec room when it was locked. But how can you say the protein can was put there after the room was unlocked? We already know she was given the protein can with the poison inside, right? If that can wasn't there when she died, how did she get poisoned?
You're right. We do need to explain that. But before we do, there's something I'd like to confirm with everyone here.
Huh?
It has to do with the protein can. After Sakura's body was discovered, did anyone move it or trip over it or anything like that?
What are you talking about? Is this some kind of loaded question?
Not at all. Just answer to the best of your ability, because
It was found on top of the glass.
Well, no, not that I remember.
Yeah, me either. Not me.
Same here.
Yeah, me either. Okay then, that settles it. That proves that the protein can found its way to the murder scene after the room was opened.
Oh, come on, how can you say that? How can you know what I don't know?
The reason she can say that is because there's evidence. There's proof that someone brought the protein can into the rec room after it was opened. Okay, make your argument. This is another shooty shit, isn't it? Source of powder, empty cam. So they're talking about the protein drinks. So what am I aiming for the protein drink? Okay, empty protein drink.
When it comes to that protein can, there's not a doubt in my mind. Until the locked room was unlocked, it absolutely was not in there.
So you're saying someone planted it in there after we got the door open?
No, that's impossible. It had to have been there the whole time. That's right, the rec room was unlocked. It had to be there. It had to be there before the rec room was unlocked.
That'll be it, won't it? The last thing he said? We'll give it a go. Protein can, somebody planted on the crime scene. No, that's impossible. There's just this whole Burek and bullshit coming flying in here. Is it? Alright? Yes! I did a thing! You remember how there was broken glass scattered all around the room, right?
Of course, it came from the window you broke trying to get in. What about it?
Well, those pieces weren't just scattered around the protein can. We also found pieces underneath the can.
What?
And this proves it. It shows that the can must have been put down on the floor after the window was broken. So it had to be after we got into the room.
Ugh. I see. So that's your explanation. Kyoko, earlier, when you asked if anyone had moved the can or tripped over it.
If that were the case, that would explain the can being on top of the glass.
So you asked everyone about it to eliminate that possibility right out of the gate.
And that's made everything clear, hasn't it? As long as it was a locked room, it not only contained the bottle of poison and not the protein can, but once the room was opened up, they were switched, and as a result, the protein can wound up in the rec room and the bottle of poison returned to the chem lab.
If that's all true, then why did Sakura drink the poison? I thought we all agreed she was tricked into drinking it because of the protein can.
No, that's not why. The only explanation is, she drank it from its original bottle, knowing exactly what it was.
Precisely. She was alone in a rock-locked room. All she had was the poison. What other possibility is there?
So she did kill herself.
You're saying she drank it, knowing what it was? Such a ridiculous fiction is
exactly what happened.
Then tell us already. Sorry, please tell us.
Before we get to that, we need to clarify one other thing. We need to establish who exactly got the poison from the chem lab and took it to the rec room.
It was Hina, right? She took it and gave it to Ogre.
What do you think, Makoto?
The one who got the poison from the chem lab and brought it to the rec room. It had to have been Sakura. I think it was Sakura herself.
Huh? So Sakura, who was apparently murdered, just poisoned herself?
What are you talking about? There's no way! On the contrary, we know for a fact that she went to the chem lab, right to the section full of poisons. You're lying! Stop lying! Why? Why would you lie like that?
No, it's not a lie. Sakura definitely went to Section C. Kyoko already showed me the evidence I need. Now I have to hit Hina with it. I have to make her accept it. This is another one of these rhythm games. Yep. Okay. I'm just going to be quiet when I'm doing this. Don't mind me. Try hard mode engaged. Oh! I wasn't expecting it to just pick up speed all of a sudden. God. Final strike. How do I change? How do I change? Oh, do I not change? Oh. Okay, I guess I didn't have to change for that one. Hina, did you know that Sakura's foot had certain yellow powder stuck to it?
It did?
It did. The same yellow powder that had been spilled by the shelf in the chem lab. I'd forgotten about that. That powder was yellow, wasn't it? So the powder we found on Sakura, what else could it be but from the powder from the chem lab?
Ah! Wait. So what was the powder doing on Olga's foot?
And it was only on her instep, right?
Sakura must have been standing right there where the powder was spilled. So the person who spilled the powder by the shelf wasn't Hina, but Sakura.
Ah!
And when Sakura dropped the bottle, she dropped it away from where she was actually standing, which is how she was able to avoid getting it all over herself. But the powder still got scattered around, and some of it must have wound up in her instep. Is there any problem with my thinking?
But why did Sakura pay a visit to Section C in the first place? The only explanation is that she was looking for poison. After all, that's all that section contained.
No, it was me. The poison. Because I killed her.
No, you didn't kill her. The one that killed Sakura. The connection between Sakura and the poison, the unsolved mystery of the locked room. There's only one way to explain it. That face. Celeste, no, Chihiro, Yasuhiro, Aoi, Mondo, Kyoko, Sakura. The one who killed Sakura was Sakura herself.
What? The killer was Sakura? Wait, so you're saying it was suicide?
I don't believe it. I don't believe it any more than I believe I can fly.
I can't believe it either, or rather, I don't want to believe it. It's funny, because I mentioned this way back in one of the earlier episodes, what happens if somebody kills themselves. But when you really think about it, everything matches up. Sakura went and got the poison, she barricaded herself in a room, and she drank it. Also, she could end her own life. And that explains why we couldn't solve the mystery of the locked room. Because of course, Sakura wanted to create the locked room. The locked room mystery was created by Sakura.
I'm sure she locked herself in so nobody could stop her from doing what she did. She sat there, drank the poison, and breathed her last breath. And the empty bottle of poison rolled around the locked room until we came and opened it. At that point, someone grabbed the bottle and snuck it out of the room. And that was you, wasn't it, Hina?
Yeah.
You did it to throw off the investigation, didn't you? When we found her body, you stayed right there near the door, because you already knew Sakura was dead. And because the bottle of poison had rolled near the doorway.
That's when you picked up the bottle, right? I was too shocked to notice anything, and Kyoko was busy checking the body.
And the more I think about it, the more I realize how unusual your actions were.
I have to go get them. I have to go get the others.
On shaky legs, Hina left the rec room.
You said you were going to go get everyone else, but your real intention was to go to the chem lab and switch out the containers, wasn't it? Once you were at the chem lab, you headed straight to the section where the protein powder was kept. There, you took the powder and poured it into the bottle of poison you'd grabbed from the rec room. When you left the lab, all you had was the empty protein can. Thinking about it like that, the footprints make perfect sense.
Wouldn't there have still been poison in the thing that Baka drank, though? Whatever. When you were done, you gathered everyone together, and once you were back in the rec room...
I got everyone.
Ah! Ogre?
Oh, so she's dead, huh? Sakura's been killed? I see.
While everyone else was focused on Sakura, you quietly placed the can on the ground. Honestly, I should have noticed. You should have been the first one to run up to Sakura's lifeless body. The Hina I know would never have left her side in a situation like that.
So, Sakura committed suicide. In order to hide this fact, Sakura undertook a series of actions to undermine the investigation. As long as you could disguise the truth, you didn't care if we blamed you for her death. That's why you didn't bother to get rid of such obvious evidence, isn't it, right? The footprints in the powder and the bottle of poison. Vital pieces of evidence, and yet...
So you're saying Hina consciously deceived us to make it look like she killed Sakura?
No. No. No, 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 no. I killed her. I did it.
That's enough, Hina. It's over.
It's not. Nothing's over.
It is. Actually, no. You're right. We have to end this properly. I have to have my big moment at the end. Yep. I have to have my big moment. Oh, Christ. Right, okay, so... she's giving out letters to... Where's the... Okay, so that'll be the first one. So give it 3. She gets in, and then she... Oops. Hides in the locker. Is there a locker one? Yep, hides in the locker. Sees her there. He comes in, she offers him a sweetie, he takes it, he's nervous. Yeah, bottle, grabs it, cracks her about the head with it. So that would be... I got the right one there. Yeah, I think. Where's it, that one? Okay. Right, that was that. That's her looking in there, so that's her... Is that her going in or coming out? I can't tell what one's what. That might be the wrong way around, actually. I want to change them over. So she... Where are we? That looks like she's going to hide. That looks like she's peeking out after it's happened. So that's there. Runs away. Magazine. Puts the magazine back upside down. She gets back up. That might be the first one. No, he's already grabbed at that point. Why is there a picture of Monokuma there? That one there. Because she used the queen. Oh, because Monokuma's riding there. That's why Monokuma's there. Dumbass. Right, okay, so she's looking at that. She puts it back. She hears... What's that? It's the chemical. That's the thing upside down. Wakes up, turns around, sees the blood, faints. She grabs her, turns into a nut job, grabs the next bottle, cracks that one over her head, tidies it up, scrams away. She wakes up, she's at her head, she looks up, she grabs the poison, that one. They're at the door, they see her dead, he bursts down the door, she's dead. Hina's looking in the background, she sees the poison, she picks it up and puts it in her pocket. She then sneaks off and... No, other way around. So that one goes there, and then that goes there. Right? Piece of paper's left over. I'm sitting there, him with the sweetie. Oh wait, is that one actually him with the sweetie in his hand? It's already been chosen. Let's go back. Nope, he's already got that, so I don't need to use it. Right, let's go with this then. Let's see how well we do. The case began when Sakura asked a number of people to meet her in the rec room. Specifically, those people were Hiro, Toko, and Bakula. But one of them headed out a bit earlier than others, Toko. She got there one step ahead of everyone else and looked around for a good hiding spot. So I did get that right, cool. And she found it. She crawled into the locker to get out of sight. Then, from inside the locker, she saw Sakura enter the room. Next to arrive was Hiro. When he got there, he mistakenly thought Sakura was going to try to kill him, so he panicked. Yeah, you got that one right too. Without thinking, he grabbed the nearby Monokuma bottle and attacked Sakura with it. Thinking he'd killed her, he hastily began covering up his crime. He took out a magazine from the table and forged a dying message from Sakura. To that end, he wrote down a name. Toko. By writing her name, he was hoping to pin the murder on her. But of course, Toko had witnessed the whole thing, so as soon as the coast was clear, she jumped out of the locker and hid the magazine on the shelf with all the others. Conveniently not fainting to the blood on the magazine. But in her rush to me, she made one little mistake. She put the magazine back upside down. Soon after, she watched as Sakura slowly opened her eyes. She also saw the blood dripping off Sakura's head and fainted. This caused her personality to switch back over to Genocide Jack. When she woke back up, her second personality also saw the blood-soaked Sakura, and she freaked out. Why would she freak out if she was a serial killer? And just like Hiro, she grabbed another Monokuma bottle and attacked her. This explains why there were 2 wounds on Sakura's head. Assuming Sakura really was dead at this time, she set about disposing of the evidence. She gathered up the broken Monokuma bottle shards and the queen chess piece and buggered off. And that explains how Sakura was attacked twice with the same type of weapon. But even after those 2 blows, she was still alive. So then, what was Sakura's actual cause of death? It was the poison that Sakura herself got from the chem lab. She turned the rec room into a true locked room scenario and then drank the deadly mixture. And there she took her final breath. Later on, the rest of us discovered that her body was in there. We had to smash the door's window to get inside. But someone already knew what had happened, knew that she'd committed suicide. Damn it, got that one. That's probably the wrong way around, isn't it? Okay, so it's definitely none of these, so it has to be that one. And that one has to be that one. Is that right? Yeah. And that same someone quietly snatched the bottle of poison from off the ground. And while nobody was looking, replaced it with an empty protein can. They did all this specifically to place all the suspicion on themselves, in an attempt to guide the trial to a false conclusion. And the one who went into all that effort was you, Hina. That's the full truth of the case. Sakura took her own life, and you claim to be the killer to hide that fact. Isn't that right? That's what happened. But, Makoto, how were you able to uncover the truth that even I couldn't discern? Oh, huh? Well, I mean, you still haven't realized? We don't all act according to calculations and cost-benefit diagrams. That's what makes us so complicated. That's what you don't understand, and that's why you couldn't solve this case. Gugh! See, didn't I tell you? When you dismiss other people's feelings, it'll always come back to bite you in the end. Oh, you're going to sit questioning your life choices now. Results! I got a B in there. Final result A. I'll do with me. I got that 1 B rank, but I'm happy with the A at the end. Okay. I think we can all agree you made up your point. Did you guys forget already? You still haven't voted yet. Oh yeah, that's right. You seriously forgot? I can feel my energy draining out of me. Well, whatever. You don't really have a choice anyway. You just gotta do it. Maybe you don't want to, but please grab your lever and cast your vote. So, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Well, I can't really say she's been voted out because she's already dead. Sakura. Yeah, that's right. The one who killed Sakura was Sakura herself. Okay, we're done here. So that's the whole truth, huh? I see. But there's still one thing I don't understand. Hina,
Why did you try to cover up what happened? If the truth hadn't come to light, you would have died along with the rest of us. And yet you. Why did you do that?
Yeah, we almost died there.
Because that's exactly what I wanted.
What?
I mean, the reason Sakura died is because all of you pushed her into a corner. You all killed her. So that's why. I couldn't let her be the only one that died.
You don't mean you were gonna take us all with you?
We have to atone for our sins, because everyone, even me, we all killed her. We all have to pay for our crimes.
For serious? That's...
You still don't understand. Let me explain. Do you realize just how much despair Sakura was carrying with her when she died? Look at this.
Such brutality has made me desperate. So instead of just waiting to be killed, I'll do it by my own hand.
That's... I found it on the ground, in front of the rec room. It's Sakura's suicide note.
Suicide note?
Thinking back, I should have seen it coming. It was right after Genocide Jack had attacked me. Sakura got mad and stormed out of the nurse's office. I ran out after her and... Sakura, calm down. You don't have to worry about me. I'm fine.
I can't calm down. I don't care if I suffer for this. It's my fault after all. But now you're suffering because of me. You tried to protect me, but because of me, my closest friend got hurt.
Sakura?
Because of me, my friends are all going to kill each other. This is all my responsibility.
Sakura thought she was responsible. She thought everything was her fault, which is why she wanted to find some way to get everyone to forgive her. So she asked to meet with them. You asked to meet with those three? You can't. Don't you see how dangerous that is?
Don't worry. I just want to talk to them.
Talk about what? Listen, don't do it. If they all gang up on you at once, even you.
Hina, please, don't think of things like that. They're not my enemy. They're friends.
Sakura. She clearly believed. She completely believed in all of us. If you just talked to her, you would have understood. She was a friend to all of us. And yet... You trampled all over her feelings, and then you did the unthinkable.
No, that was just a misunderstanding.
Don't stand there and call it a misunderstanding. She believed in you, and you wouldn't even listen to what she had to say. Without asking a single question, you tried to kill her. Do you have any idea how desperate she was, seeing you act like that? That's what her suicide note means. So instead of just waiting to be killed, I'll do it by my own hand. That's how far you'd pushed her.
Wait. If she was seriously that miserable, about full in despair, why did she die with a smile on her face? I don't know. Whatever.
Sakura, what happened to you?
Hina, you came.
Wait right here. I'll help you out.
Hina.
Huh?
I'm so glad I got to meet you.
What's wrong, Sakura? Why are you talking like that?
I have a favor to ask.
A favor?
I'd like some protein. Could I ask you to?
Yeah, you got it. Just hang on. I'll be right back. That was the last conversation I had with her. I went to the chem lab to get the protein she'd asked for. When I got there, I saw the powder. And that's when I realized. I saw that someone had taken something from the poison shelf. Sakura. So I ran back to the rec room as fast as I could, but by the time I got there, it was already too late. Sakura! Let me in, please! Open the door! Why? Why? Why did she have to die? She had weaknesses, just like any other person. If she got cut, she bled. If someone hurt her, she felt it. That's weakness. That's normal. And yet, you all blamed her. I tried to protect her and I suffered for it, and that just added to the weight she had to carry. And I didn't even realize it.
Hina.
We all killed her. All of us. We pushed her into a corner and we murdered her. People like us shouldn't be allowed to live.
And that's why you tried to lead us astray. You did your best to make us arrive at the wrong conclusion during the class trial.
Sakura died hating all of us. I wanted to free her of regrets. But even that got found out. In the end, I wasn't able to do anything for her. I could never face her after this.
I'm sorry to interrupt right when you're about to deliver the final tearjerker, but it's just taking so long. I'm about to fall asleep over here. I mean, do you really think you have any idea what Sakura was actually thinking when she died?
What did you say?
Everything you just said is nothing but your interpretation, right? Your own opinion on what her suicide note meant.
Of course I know what she was thinking, 'cause her and me...
Well, what I'm really trying to say is, don't you think the entire foundation is shaky? What if it was really like this?
What is that?
Isn't it obvious? A suicide note. Sakura's suicide note.
What?
But Hina already...
Oh, I wrote that one. It was all me, baby. This is the one Sakura addressed to Hina and put in her room.
What? Then... you... lied to me?
Oh, don't say lie. It makes it sound so dirty. I just thought I'd liven things up a bit. I can't help it if you totally took my little scribbles at face value. It didn't even have Sakura's signature on it.
You filthy little...
I'm not filthy. I didn't do anything. Did I falsify evidence? Did I affect the outcome of the class trial? The case played out between you and you alone. You were the ones jerking each other around. Heck, even if the will had factored in, it still would have been between you guys. So what's the problem? This is all part of the production process. Okay, and scene. Cut.
So then, what did she write in her real suicide note?
I'm glad you asked. For your benefit, I shall read it using my melodic, angelic, harmonic narrator voice. But you know, haven't you ever been curious about the whole suicide note thing? Who came up with the idea of leaving a note when you kill yourself in the first place? And isn't it just so unfortunate? Killing yourself is just so final, you know? You can never hear the rest of their story. The truth is lost in darkness. It gives me the willies.
Could you get on with it, please?
Okay. Jeez. Talk about a buzzkill. All right, here we go. Ahem.
My good friend Hina, there's something I have to tell you. I hate to do it like this, but you need to know. This is my final wish. As you know, I've been giving information to the one who's imprisoned you here. It was our first night in this strange school that the mastermind came to see me. You see, the mastermind took control of my family's dojo and demanded I become their tool. You might not see the importance of a dojo, but my family has watched over it for over 300 years. I couldn't let it be destroyed under my watch, so even if it meant my own life, I had to protect it. That's how I saw things. However, that was my greatest weakness, and because of that, I made the mistake of giving in to the mastermind. And what the mastermind wanted from me was nothing less than murder. They were probably worried that until their first murder had happened, nothing would move forward. But what neither the mastermind nor I expected was the incident involving Sayaka. At that point, the plan changed. The mastermind told me to hold off, to wait until we reached another stalemate. However, as I lived here with all of you, as I lived here with Hina, my resolve began to weaken. Watching everyone fight with such despair, trying so desperately to stay alive, I saw the weakness in my own heart, the mistake of succumbing to the mastermind. And more than anything, I cannot betray those who would call me their friend. That's how I came to feel.
So that's why Sakura...
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Of course, because of that I decided to reveal her secret, which made everyone else hate her.
This whole situation wouldn't have happened if this guy just had the fucking balls to just tell someone before it got out of control.
Her decision to stay true to all of you led directly to all of you hating her for it. Ironic, isn't it? Or maybe oxymoronic. Or just moronic.
Of course, I understand if you all hate me. All of this is because of my own weakness. I'm perfectly willing to accept whatever attack you may want to make on me. So this is my atonement for betraying you. That's what I had in mind. But unfortunately, that's not enough. This won't end with just me accepting your hatred. My own situation has started having an effect on more people than just me, which is exactly what the mastermind wanted when they revealed my betrayal.
My betrayal brought suspicion, disharmony. The mastermind knew that eventually it would escalate into someone murdering someone else. Of course, I'm still responsible for that as well. I have an obligation to get the situation under control, and to fulfill that obligation, I've decided to do as the mastermind has commanded. I will do as I was told, and commit murder. But I've decided that the one I'm going to kill is myself. If the mastermind demands that I kill someone, then that someone will be me. Then my dojo will be safe, and above all else, none of you will have to kill anyone. When I die, the source of conflict among you all dies with me. For that, I'm willing to give up my life. If it can save you, then sacrificing my own life could have no greater meaning. Whatever you think of me, please know that you are all my most treasured friends. I've never had people like you in my life.
Then, Sakura didn't feel cornered. She didn't die hating us. She wanted to stop us from fighting? To protect us? She didn't end her own life because she was weak. Quite the opposite, in fact. She was strong. Too strong. That's why she killed herself. She chose death for herself in order to protect the rest of us. To sacrifice so much, no normal person could do that. It was only her limitless strength that made it possible.
Finally, Hina, I want to apologize to you especially. The reason I didn't tell you any of this is because I knew you would try to stop me. I'm really, truly sorry. But please don't be sad. If I can thwart the mastermind's plans, if I can keep you from killing each other, that's enough for me. This is the path that I have chosen. This is the only way I have left to distinguish myself. And you can use this note to bring the class trial to a quick end. I'm so sorry to ask you to do something so unpleasant, but I have to leave the rest to you. Please talk to Bakula, Toko, and Hiro on my behalf. I can't tell anyone about my plan while I'm alive, but I wanted you to understand why I'm doing this. In the end, though, I hope to show myself through actions and not words. Hopefully then they'll see. I never saw you as my enemy. You were only ever my friend, who I wanted to help as much as possible. Hina, whatever it takes, survive. Survive along with everyone else. No matter what, just survive.
This is... I didn't understand how she felt. Not at all. I thought we were close and still.
But in the end, all her meddling was totally pointless. She died so you guys wouldn't try to kill each other, but you almost ended up doing it anyway. Thanks to you, her death had no purpose at all. In fact, it was because of her stupid meddling that the rest of you nearly bit the big one. She deserves all the blame. Everyone blame her. Go ahead, she deserves it. Now then, the next victim has been decided.
What do you mean, next victim? Nobody here blames anyone. Hina blames herself, doesn't she? First of all, you're in the wrong for tricking Hina with that fake suicide note. And plus, Sakura's death wasn't a waste. Because she made us remember. We're not enemies that hate each other. We're friends who need to work together. Damn straight. This is all because of our misplaced hatred. I don't blame her. I can't blame her. And nobody can blame Hina either.
What?
Whether or not there was a spy never really mattered, because the only one we need to destroy is you, nobody else.
What the heck? That's not how this is supposed to go. But anyway, are you sure about that? This killing game is a competition between all of you, remember? Your enemy is each other.
He's absolutely right about that.
Ha! Lovely Bakula! You understand, don't you?
This is a life or death elimination match. The only way to survive is to win. There can be no doubt that those are the rules of the game, which is why I am bowing out of the game.
Huh?
Sakura and Hina were both willing to sacrifice their own lives to deny the reality of the game. Thanks to them, it would appear that the others have cast aside their fear for this game. There's no point in participating in a game which has lost that sense of excitement, which is why I will no longer be participating in it.
What's going on here?
Now I have only one thing to look forward to, and that is to heap the harshest possible punishment onto the one who thinks they can control me. But Bakula, does this mean... Don't misunderstand. I haven't been moved by some thoughtless sentimentalism, if that's what you're thinking.
Wherever a master goes, I go, and if the mastermind turns out to be a guy, maybe I can catch on fire.
Everyone?
Well, Now can you say that Sakura's death had no meaning?
How boring.
Why has Hina not said anything yet?
But nothing good can come of this. I'm still going to be the one having the fun time.
The fun time?
Anyway, let's forget about good-for-nothing backstabber and get back on track. It's the moment you've all been waiting for. Punishment time! Wait, but Sakura was technically the killer, right? And she's dead.
You're not gonna.
Is it me?
Oh, heavens no.
Oh, Jesus.
Just because the blackened is dead doesn't mean I can just sub in whatever other student I want.
Is he gonna drag out her body and do something to it?
Didn't I tell you? I'm very particular about the bear times one rule. But I spent so much time preparing my special punishment, it'd be a shame to let it go to waste. So, for my special punishment, I've prepared a special guest.
A special guest?
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
Special guest?
Oh no! Oh. He got the laptop.
Oh god, it's gonna run over. Or crushed. Just looking up. So he did know about the secret room, about the computer. Excavator destroyer. Oh well, Chihiro got killed for a second time. It's a bit overkill, isn't it? Okay, turn it into a football. Oh, okay. Poor old Chihiro gets killed a second time, technically. You suck, man! You turned him into a mangled hunk of junk!
Oh, that really took it out of me. Maybe I'll go grill up a plate of chicken. After all, they say for post-workout grub, chicken's where it's at, and I'm all about the grilled goodness. Fried, broiled, give me a break. The colour, the smell, the succulence, grilled is where it's at.
I realize how dangerous it could be, but still, I have to do this. I'm scared, but I can handle it. I don't really understand why, but when I think about everyone else, my courage starts to grow. You might think I'm just some inhuman AI, but it's true, so it's okay. If it's for the sake of everyone else, I won't be afraid.
Alter Ego's words raced through my heart and soul, and my disbelief gave way to raw anger. The anger turned to fury, black and muddy and boiling over. It bubbled up through my body, quickly overflowing and shooting out of my mouth. How dare you? That was my friend. How dare you kill him?
Huh? You were friends with a laptop? That's pretty pathetic. What's next? Friends with basketball?
Shut the hell up. He wasn't just a laptop, he was my friend, and you killed him.
Is that what you call animism? Where a soul dwells within all things? Even like laptops? Well, you can call it whatever you want. Bottom line is, it got in my way. It was trying to find things out all sneaky.
So, you finally noticed him.
Finally? No. I knew about it from the very beginning. I knew Chihiro was doing something with the laptop, and I knew you were using it to analyze data. I knew exactly how it was all going to play out from the start.
What?
You knew, and you are still cocky enough to let us take the plunge. Well, I mean, the data in that laptop, it was, I guess you could call it a gift from me to you. Or maybe more like a reward, in honor of you being able to unlock something so difficult. So of course I didn't care if you got access to that. But sneaking into the network was just too personal, so I had to do a little, reformatting.
I want to keep being helpful to everyone. I want to work as hard as everyone else so we can all get out of here.
Alter Ego wanted to fight for us. He wanted to help at the risk of his own life, and for that, he was killed.
Yeah, the punishment time has made me feel 1,000,000,000 times better. Experiencing a meaningless death is so soothing. It makes me remember that every low can get even lower.
No, his death wasn't meaningless either. Everybody who's died so far, the deaths of each and every one of our friends, they all make us stronger. I swear to God, someday you will pay for this.
Holy moly, you're super mad. Like, just unreasonably upset. Okay, time to bring things to a close. Oh, but before that, I need to read the postscript.
Postscript?
Yeah, there's still a little bit more left of Sakura's note.
Huh?
Do I have your attention? Okay then, here we go. Prepare your ears for the dulcet tones of yours truly.
One other thing, Hina. There's something I'd like to tell you to tell the others. Hopefully it will act as a clue to help you unravel the mystery of the school. What? A clue? I've spoken with the mastermind off and on the whole time I've been here, and so I've learned one thing, which is, the mastermind has done something to us. I think what they've done is...
Oopsie daisy, that was a close one. Another word and we would have been hip deep in spoiler territory. Okay, I don't want to ruin the surprise, so book club is dismissed for today.
What? You can't just stop at the most important bit?
It makes your brain rumble and tumble, huh? It makes you so mad you don't even friggin' know, huh? That's the whole point, stupid. It's to get back at all of you for hardening your resolve.
Fine, but at least Sakura's note.
Like I'd ever let any of you greaseballs have it.
But...
Sucks for you, loser. Wait, what's this?
Where is it now?
There's one last line in the note.
And let me just say this to the mastermind. I'm not going to just lay down and die. I will fight you, you bastard. No matter what. And that's seriously it.
Huh. Wow, what a stubborn loser, huh?
She won't lay down and die. She'll fight you?
Well, whatever. Who cares what some dead musclehead has to say? Okay, I'm out of here. You guys should try to get some rest, you know. And maybe take some time to reconsider how you approach this school life of yours. Are you sure you don't want to graduate? Can you really cut free from the regrets of the outside world? Think about that. Think long, think hard.
Those were his parting words to us before disappearing. But what was that all about? Sakura's final message, her last clue to help us solve the mystery of the school. The mastermind did something to us? So that kind of strengthens the idea that their memories have been tampered with. I reckon. Maybe something else, I don't know. Kyoko said something like that before, didn't she? It was after Celeste's trial was over. What did you do? What did you do to my body?
What?
Answer me. What did you do to my body? The mastermind did something to our bodies? What are they saying the mastermind did? What did the mastermind do to us? I mean, did the mastermind plant a bomb in us or something? And if we try to leave the school, a sensor goes off? And the bomb explodes? I've seen stuff like that in movies and comics and stuff, so it's totally not unheard of. No, I feel just awful thinking about it. I can't afford to acknowledge thoughts like that. So the class trial is over, Monokuma's gone. So, now what do we do? What else is there other than to head back up? Oh yeah, okay, let's get out of here. But, Hina must still feel responsible. Dial back that ego a bit, girl. The kind of mystery someone like you could pose is absolutely no threat. I would never have lost to that kind of challenge. What are you talking about? Kyoko and Makoto were the ones who figured everything out. Shut up. Seriously, I'm sorry. How many times do you plan to apologize? How about you make that the last one? I haven't reached a point where I need someone apologizing to me more than once. Okay, I see what you mean. Then, I'll try. Huh? That totally wasn't normal, right? Did she just capture his flag? No. No. I cannot suffer the existence of someone who would disturb the romance between me and Master. What are you talking about? That is absolutely not what's happening here. Why would I ever go for a sleazeball like him? Sleazeball? That's right, I called you a sleazeball, because you are. Sleazeball. Apparently you still have a death wish. Oh, more biting sarcasm. No wonder you don't have any friends. Hey, stop fighting with Master. You're making me jealous. I want the abuse give and take. Me! I guess it's not so easy for everyone to act like friends. Well, that's just how it is for now. And so, Sakura's class trial came to an end and we returned to the world of Hope's Peak Academy. But the story wasn't even close to over. Time kept marching on. We all went back to our rooms and before long, night snuck up on us. Ding dong, bang bong. 10 p.m.
This is a school announcement. It is now 10 p.m. As such, it is officially night time. Soon the doors to the dining hall will be locked, and entry at that point is strictly prohibited. Okay then, sweet dreams everyone. Good night, sleep tight, and don't let the bedbugs bite.
Nighttime descended and pulled me down along with it, down into sleep. I couldn't remember the last time I'd fallen into such a deep sleep, but the night still wasn't over for me. A voice. I could hear a voice. Oh, well, we will have to find out whose voice it is in the next episode. Until then, remember always, keep it loud, keep it heavy, and I will see you in the next one.